Hey everyone! Today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite genres, the Japanese RPG. Now, being a big fan of RPGs since the first Final Fantasy on the original Nintendo, I've seen my fair share of them over time. RPGs try to one-up each other over the previous titles by adding interesting things like real-time combat, interesting magic, and even crazy characters, but it really comes down to just having a great story. So today, let's take a look at the new title by Square Enix and Tri-A Software, Star Ocean: The Last Hope. Star Ocean: The Last Hope is the fifth installment in the Star Ocean series of games. This was actually the first Star Ocean game I played, and it turned out I didn't need to know any of the backstory from the previous games because this game is a prequel to the series. The Last Hope takes place some 80 years into Earth's future, where a worldwide nuclear war has completely destroyed the surface of the planet, forcing the survivors to live underground. The major powers of the world combine into a single nation with a focus on space exploration to find a new suitable planet to inhabit to save humanity. The United Science and Technology Administration discovered the ability to travel at warp speed, and space exploration becomes possible. The game then begins with 20-year-old lead character, spiky-haired, cliched badass Edge Maverick as a pilot of one of the 5 ships about to go where no man has gone before. Of course, upon entering warp, something goes wrong and all 5 ships lose communication with each other. After crash landing, it's up to you to find the other ships and figure out what the heck just happened. Unfortunately, the game takes some 60 minutes before you really get control of your character for the first time. The opening cutscenes take forever, and then you're taken through a battle simulator acting as a tutorial, which is actually kind of hard to learn some of the new gimmicks to the genre, which I'll get into later. The theme of the game seems to be a lot like Star Trek. Basically, you're in command of a ship that will navigate the galaxy to explore suitable places to live and aid anyone in trouble that you find along the way. Star Ocean appears to be an RPG potpourri. We have the planetary travels of Mass Effect, skill customization along the same lines as Blue Dragon, swords, guns, and magic in the future like in Phantasy Star Universe, and the need to boldly go where no man has gone before, as in, of course, Star Trek. Throughout the game, Edge will come across 11 additional companions that will join him in his quests. Some of these characters are really cool, and all of them are really fun to play as. But I don't know what it is with RPGs these days, there seems to be a growing trend to include the most annoying characters imaginable, as some of your sidekicks for whatever reason never shut up. What's worse, all these characters have turned out to be some of the most powerful characters in those games. What gives? Lost Odyssey gave us drunken womanizer Jansen, and Blue Dragon gave us the squealing Devi Maru Maru, but Star Ocean gives us a frigging smorgasbord of annoying bastards.
What the heck? Hi there, Welchie. You're all 2D today.
Hi yourself, Pipsqueak. Looking cute as always. Oh? What's this? I turn around for a minute and now you've got a cat? And not just any cat, apparently. I mean, look at those ears!
Now, to be true to Japanese games, we also get a small taste of the scantily clad women we've all come to expect. Raimi joins you from the very start and totes around a schoolgirl body with a short skirt, and later, we get a few run-ins with this nasty little beast. Okay, back to design. This game has a lot of cutscenes. There could be times where you literally aren't really playing your character for up to 40 minutes. It's kind of like watching a movie that you get to take part in. The game is 3 discs, and it should take you between 40 and 60 hours, depending on how many side quests you take part in. Lots of people don't like RPGs because they're turn-based. You set up your attacks and you wait to see what happens. With the plethora of fast-paced, action-packed first-person shooters and a world full of ADD gamers, many of you simply can't get into it. Well, not anymore. Star Ocean gives us real-time combat, and it's badass. Now with that, Star Ocean provides a rather in-depth tutorial that shows every aspect of the combat system. Unfortunately, it seems kind of overwhelming at first, as there really is a lot to it. Being that you have a party of people fighting with you, and you can only control one at a time, it takes some good reflexes if you want to properly execute spells and combos and still prevent incoming damage. Like most RPGs, Star Ocean is single player, though a split-screen co-op really could enhance the gameplay for these reasons. But once you get the hang of it, it's really fun, fast-paced, and very addictive. The AI certainly isn't anything to complain about. They're very useful, and you can even specify how aggressive you want to play them while you're in combat. They're a godsend when compared to some of the AI in other games I've played, such as your dim-witted companions in LEGO Star Wars. Star Ocean isn't without its pain points. One particular grimace of the game is the inability to save your game anywhere and everywhere. Now I understand that most RPGs have certain locations for you to sporadically save your game, but in Star Ocean, they're so spread out, you might go for even over an hour without being able to save. Another problem I had initially was that I found it extremely difficult to control the character. It turns out my main problem resided with the camera controls. Once I found the options to invert the left and right and up and down movements to the familiar style of your favorite first-person shooter, movement became a lot more fluid. First things first, the graphics in Star Ocean are freaking awesome. The character models are kind of cartoony while the background is more realistic looking. It kind of reminds me of updated Final Fantasy VII. The graphics engine is an enhanced version of the engine used in Infinite Undiscovery, yielding the ability to create much better graphics and render lighting effects on the fly. You really notice its awesomeness during the combat with all the awesome spell effects and combos. Though the graphics are wonderful, I do have a few negative comments. The camera on the world view is a bit too zoomed out, and some environments are too bright really to see all the detail. When you get new armor, the graphics of your character doesn't really change. You're stuck with the default initial look of all the characters. Now after playing MMOs for years, I guess I'm really spoiled by the character customization options you get online, but whatever, I'm over it. As mentioned earlier, this game has tons of cutscenes. Now all the cutscenes are pre-rendered and beautiful, but the voice acting is terrible. I think the only character whose voice acting is even semi-decent is that of Edge. You just gotta kinda hear it for yourself, I guess. They are absolutely ridiculous.
I'm exhausted, Commander. I had to oversee the ceremony in your place, you know. In any case, the guests seemed pleased. It made for a fine dawn to the age of space exploration.
All in all, Star Ocean's a really good game. It has great graphics and super fun, action-packed real-time combat, and has all the customization, character building, and item collecting elements we're all familiar with. The cutscenes get to be a bit long, and the voice acting is ridiculous, making the handful of companions terribly annoying. I don't know if this is the game to bring non-RPGers to the genre, but it's certainly entertaining enough to hold us over until Final Fantasy XIII is released.